All right, let's shift our focus now to other stories that we have been tracking. This is about the Air India and the incident that the perpetrator in the case is concerned. He still remain untraceable. It's been around 2 months now. That will be till the time, even with the lookout circular that has now been issued against him. Meghna, just tell us about the CEO's letter, because he just makes a mere mention of the incident that happened back in November.
You know, it is appalling. At a time after close to 41 days, we'd expect at least Air India CEO in the first time when he's broken his silence, he may have tendered an apology. He may at least come out and say that strictest action will be taken against those who are reporting to him, the cabin crew, the captain. But unfortunately, all we got are mere words of caution which is coming in. Campbell Wilson, he is the CEO of Air India. This is the letter he's written. He said this week has been regrettably dominated by media headlines, of which you are no doubt familiar with. The repulsion felt by the affected passenger is totally understandable, and we share her distress. This is literally the only reference which has been made to the agony that this passenger had faced. There is no apology given to the passenger. Important for us to point out. He says, whilst the story is more complicated than has been reported, here he is blaming the media that it's much more complicated than as it is being reported. He's saying there are some lessons we should learn. He said any incident that happens on an aircraft of improper behavior of such a magnitude, we must report it to the authorities at the earliest. Even if we genuinely believe, he's already putting in caveats, even we on the plane genuinely believe that the matter has been settled between the parties involved, the same applies in the case of passengers. What's the problem with this statement? First, he has put in a caveat that we on our part may genuinely believe that the matter was resolved. Remember, yesterday here on Times Now, we got the victim's complaint letter as well as the FIR she's filed. She categorically says that she was under so much distress and said she didn't want to meet this man and that she only wanted him arrested. The crew insisted on bringing this inebriated man, put him in close quarters with her and said he's now apologizing, please accept it. She says she was forced to come to that settlement. Then it goes on to say we must also be clear on the standard of behavior expected on our aircraft and take firm decisive steps. This seems like he's putting the onus on the passengers. What about the accountability of the crew? There are several questions Air India must answer and apologize for. The crew on board did not help this lady. The crew on board did not inform the CISF. The crew on board did not file a complaint, flag it with the DGCA till 1 month. The crew on board failed to flag it to an extent, and Air India failed to file an FIR till 40 days. For 40 days, why this dereliction? They thought they were going to get away with it. It's as simple as that. This goes on and on. It talks about numerous cases which have happened and says there are many cases in which we have already done this. I am asking you to introspect. He goes on to say that there are relevant action which must be taken. But what's surprising is that he ends the letter, however, nowhere does he actually talk about an apology which needs to be given. He says that Air India will rise to new heights. In doing so, we must hold ourselves and others accountable to the higher standard. There is no apology anywhere here. There is no apology to the victim which has been made. There is no action which has been taken against the cabin crew who refused to help the victim, forced her to come to a settlement. There is no action being taken against the pilot for not reporting it. No action against the captain for not telling the DGCA either, or even filing an FIR. Air India is still silent.
All right, so the CEO certainly has a feedback to share with the employees of Air India. He has a word of caution to pass it on to them. But as far as an apology, a sincere apology is concerned, no signs of that whatsoever. Let me go across to Arunil, also joining us with more details. Since there has been no word on the accused in this case, the flasher, Shankar Mishra, and you've been reporting from outside his residence, Arunil. In the meanwhile, Air India CEO's first reaction in this letter coming in, no sincere apology for what the victim had to suffer and face.
Well, that is right. Extremely appalling. Air India CEO, basically the top boss of Air India, writing to his employees, and he's basically in a way trying to underplay this horrific incident as well. basically saying the way media has been reporting it, it is more complicated than that. In front of his employees, he's trying to show that Air India is in the right over here, despite the heart-wrenching emotional complaint letter that the victim, elderly woman, had written to the top bosses of Tata's. Now, at present, I'm reporting from this relatively plush bungalow from Kurla. This is the place where Delhi police team had come. It has been said that Mr. Shankar Mishra, the accused in this case, the person who urinated on that elderly woman, basically stays here. If we actually go through the number plate of this car as well and put it on the details of the record, it shows that it belongs to Shankar Mishra. This is the house where he is supposed to stay basically, according to the sources from Delhi police. Delhi police team came over here, but Shankar Mishra at present is not at home. That's what we understand. He is absconding, according to our sources from the Delhi police team, which has been operating in Mumbai as well as in Mira Road. They were there yesterday. Now, coming back to the letter that has been written by the CEO of Air India, in that letter, he's also given a diktat to his employees, basically telling them that it should be your duty to report any kind of unruly behavior to the law enforcement agencies. You can't settle the matter there itself. That is not appropriate.
Over 40 days and this individual still remains untraceable. In fact, the police are now working on his last known location there and have widened the scope of the investigation even to Bangalore. We have Deepak joining us right now. Deepak, the investigation that is being concerned because his location could be anywhere. The Delhi police coordinating with the Mumbai police, also saying that possible location could be in Lucknow, and also his office there, which is situated in Bengaluru.
Yes, I'm standing on the outer ring road. This is just off Marathalli. This is the Wells Fargo building right in front of me, and you can see that this is quite a huge office of the company, and thousands of employees work here. While we of course try to get a perspective from the staff here, many of them quite unaware of his presence here. They do not really identify him as such, especially at the front security desk here. They do not know if he was here, but certain employees do tell us that he has come to this office in the recent past as well, and held meetings with some of the employees, but of course these are unconfirmed. But more importantly, this is yet another location. If the police of course do realize that he's made his way here, they could of course question a few of the employees and try to get information about his whereabouts, as a hunt is on to arrest him at this point in time. I've even had a word with the local police here who really do not have a lot of information pertaining to his presence here.
So
and
the Delhi